Hello and welcome to our final first thoughts of Series 10, The Doctor Falls.
Unless you count the Christmas special as Series 10.
Yeah, I
In
don't
which case
know.
it won't be the last of Series
I
10.
hope it gets included in the complete DVD thing. I mean, they're doing the first two halves, but
Yeah, but when if they release it before though, I don't know if they'd want to wait a year to release the full thing.
I don't know. Maybe if they continue the full DVD thing, which there's a link below for my unboxing of Series 2, which just came today, a few days early. Yeah, if they continue that, and then hopefully they get all the way to Series 10 and continue. But, core, so, lots to talk about.
Yes,
So, I
definitely.
kind of want to do it in kind of categories. So, overall, Peter Capaldi was fucking awesome.
Of
Fucking
course.
awesome in this episode. My god. Oh. In terms of Peter Capaldi, like, in his performance, I think this might be his best episode. In terms of performance.
Quite possibly. I do think
Next
about that, but
next to
it
Heaven
was...
Sent, the only other one which could be Heaven Sent, I think, in terms of, like, the pure emotion. And, yeah, so, Peter Capaldi, 10 out of 10, like, oh my god. Like, towards the end as well. But, let's kind of stick towards the beginning. Then John Simmers the Master, he slipped right back into it. That was really sweet. And Michelle Gomez was pretty solid as well. I kind of liked. She was a bit more less crazy in this one.
Well, no, that's been the case throughout the entire
Yeah,
series.
I kind of liked her more like this, and that's why she's really grown on me.
More subtle,
So yeah,
more...
I love that opening shot where they were talking about, have you drowned? Have you been
I mean,
stabbed?
the thing about the beginning of this episode in general was that it felt more like an ending than a beginning. Like,
Yeah,
it really did. It felt like an end of an episode.
yeah.
It was kind
It
of
did feel.
odd. Like, it makes sense considering how they left the last episode, but it was kind of jarring. Like, it's like, it's just like they're all being surrounded, and the whole thing kind of feels like a climax.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. That is true. But
it was
I
a,
liked it, and they explained the end of time thing where the Doctor, or where the Master, they fixed his problem, then sent him on his way in a TARDIS. So that was
yeah.
pretty cool.
Which is kind of weird, because we assume Rashalon did that.
Well,
That's
I
kind
guess
of...
so.
It's not in Rashalon's character to forgive him. I'd expect him to just kind of laser him up with his hand. Like, that seems
I
more in
think
character.
they have to partly thank him for some things. Because I mean, if he hadn't have stopped them returning, then the Doctor wouldn't have saved them in the Day of the Doctus, and they would have died anyway. So I don't know, but yeah,
Well, Rashalon didn't know that. Well, he just immediately teleported. I mean, he could have just...
true. I don't know, but yeah. So
Uh,
I'm glad they at least filled in the
also,
blank. You know.
actually, I have to say, another thing that they kind of thought was, right at the very beginning, it had a Sideman, like, Bill carrying the Doctor out of the spaceship that
Oh, that
crashed.
was a
That
great
scene.
image.
I thought it was a bit too like, because that scene didn't happen too far into the episode. It's kind of a bit odd having a scene to build up at the beginning and then actually having it happen not too far after.
Yeah, that was a bit.
Like,
Yeah,
you'd
I
expect
get what
something
you
like
mean. It
that
should
would
have
have been
been
a bit.
the Cyberman, the damaged Bill Cyberman going over to the Doctor's body and then kneeling down. That's what should have been there.
Yeah, that also might have had the issue of being a bit too similar to what they did in the first episode, though. In
True.
fairness.
But anyway, yeah. So the conversation on the roof with the two masters is great. I loved it. And how the Doctor turned it, the one into a two. So then they're going after two hearts. It was I liked it. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed all the conversations between Missy and the Master, especially the boner joke.
Yeah.
That made me laugh a lot. I was like, wow, they actually got away with that. But yeah, I mean, as we're talking about them, obviously she stabs herself.
Well, that's a bit. Okay.
I just want to
It's
kind of
going to
get
jump
talking
forward
about
very
this.
far.
Yeah, but I think it's
Um,
really poetic that, you know, all the times that the Doctor meets up, he's always saving, you know, people. It's kind of fitting that when the Master meets up, he, you know, stabs himself in the back like he does everyone else, like
mm,
to an extreme level. And I love that final shot where he's just going down in the lift laughing.
yeah, it's a pretty nice final
Great
shot. It was.
shot. I love
Um,
that.
though
But I mean,
the
Missy,
Master isn't dead.
yeah,
Let's just put this out
Missy isn't
there.
dead because remember in the last episode, the Master said you'd never be that self-destructive, and he said, "Well, neither would I." Killing is like 100 times worse than just injuring and causing them to regenerate. You
And
know
in any case, the Master's come back from death before more than
exactly.
once. I severely doubt that they'll leave that be.
Yeah,
But actually, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They're going to. That's going to. I don't know how long it will take. Maybe they'll leave it be here for a few seasons. But of course, they're going to have a new incarnation appear.
yeah. But I'm glad
Soon.
they've managed to link it over that John Sim will become Missy. You know. And
Yes.
that is why in the very first Missy adventures, she's trying to, you know, get back at the Doctor because that this has just happened. So I'm glad they've kind of carried it
They
over.
don't really remember
Yeah,
this.
well, also I'm glad that they had that dialogue that it was like repeating in, you know, the 50th, like, oh, well, you know, you can't retain the memories while I'm here. It's a really good way to fix it. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. But, like, Stephen Moffat managed to write John Sims Master perfectly.
Mm.
Every line John Sims said just felt like, you know, the Russell T Davies Master. It
It
really
did.
did. Especially when
The only thing I'd say is that it maybe wasn't quite as because whenever I picture Johnson's master, I kind of picture him always kind of dancing around and such. And
yes,
he doesn't
they
really do that here.
it's because, as in the Doctor Who magazine for this week, it's been, you know, quite a few years, 10 years for this
Yes.
Johnson Master, so he's kind of had time to calm down and mellow a bit. Kind of like what Matt Smith's one was. He was a bit kind of like an excited puppy to start with, and then he became a tiny bit more serious, you know, as time went on.
Mm.
So it's kind of like that's what the John Sim Master's become, is kind of calmed down. He kind of escapes, you know, that weird puberty stage, and now is like he's kind of found himself, you know, that's he wants to be the cool old school with the goatee and everything, you know, he's kind of grown up in kind of visual way. He's grown up, he's gone more, you know, the classic design. He wants to be like he was before, which was way more, you know, kind of mellow. And he got to do his playing around bit when he was pretending to be Razor. But
Yeah.
so in terms of Bill, I like how they did it, especially with the cool mirror shot with the Cyberman, you know, where she looked in the mirror. And it worked
Yeah.
really well. I knew exactly what they were doing as soon as they did it. I'm like, no, the Doctor hasn't managed to fix her. You know, her
Yes.
body's gone. That's it.
Of course. Yeah. No, we kind of got that.
The bit I loved, okay, was when she cried and then Heather the Puddle at the end appeared. Now that is how you set up a really sneaky story arc. We all forgot about the line that those weren't her tears, you know? We all thought that
Oh, I
was a
forgot about that one.
throwaway
Yeah.
line. We all thought that was a throwaway line, you know? It was just a line. But no,
That
out of nowhere, Heather.
I, I, I had the thing in the back of my mind because I did actually think, you know, well, we're getting to the end. Actually, I was thinking not too long before.
I thought
Well, we're getting
about
to the end of the
Heather.
episode. They kind of built it up at the first episode. It seems kind of a waste not to do anything with it.
Exactly. I
But lo and
thought,
behold,
yeah, and it happened. But I was thinking like, oh, well, I guess they went nowhere with the Heather thing, because, you know, I was thinking, oh, we're going to find out about the spaceship which left it, or whatever. But no, and I liked it, you know, I found you through your tears, but it's enough crying. And yeah, I loved it. It was a really good companion leaving. I just watched the after show, and Moffat was saying, Doctor Who isn't supposed to be this upsetting ending, it's supposed to be, hope, or there's always a way, and I like that one, Bill, she could have returned to Earth, but no, she went off with this
in fairness, that's pretty much the exact same ending that they did with Clara.
But this one felt better.
It's very, very similar.
I prefer this one a lot more.
It's true, but it is very similar.
Yeah, and so Nardol's, I guess, left as well.
Yes.
So that was
nice. Be able to settle down.
Yeah, and slowly work up his way through the ship, I guess. What I like is that they couldn't just go all the way to the top floor because the Cybermen would have so many years to, work out how to stop them. I like that. It was good.
One thing I have a slight issue with is that they say that the Cybermen had developed in advance, and that's why we've got the new Cybermen coming up as well. But why were they still bringing up the old Cybermen as well?
I'm guessing...
wouldn't they have been upgraded in that time as well?
I'm guessing those are the ones who'd already started the journey upwards before the others came up with them. That is the only logic, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But how did they manage to synchronise then, especially if the years have slowly, kind of...
Because I guess the other ones had faster jetpacks? I don't know. But yeah, it was a...
Also, I have to say, actually, I don't think I mentioned it here, because actually we were talking about this beforehand, but one of my biggest issues, especially early on, is the pacing is kind of weird.
It is, there's some weird moments, yeah.
At the beginning, it's kind of all over the place. Like, it keeps cutting back and forth between things, and no scene quite has enough time to kind of settle and give its full effect. One of the weirdest moments, in fact, is they cut away from, them preparing outside to the Doctor inside, even though he was literally just outside, talking to the, girl about, about something, and
how
knocking all the toys away.
Cybermen,
and then they cut away from that and never go back to that, and it feels kind of weird in places, and not everything quite, I think the second half did it considerably better. The second half felt right in terms of everything, but the first half was a little bit odd. Didn't quite entirely feel right all the time. Yeah,
I think as soon as it had that scene where the Doctor was talking to both the Masters, and he was like, "No!" I love that scene. I literally just watched that as I was getting the screen grabs. It is beautiful. Like, the dialogue is so beautiful there. It's like, that is going to be, either the top 12th Doctor scene, I think, that one.
It's up there. It's like goes amongst his best speeches.
Yeah,
which is up there.
He's had some solid ones,
and I just love Johnson's reaction. It just looks like a face again.
Yeah,
cares.
That just didn't listen to a word you said. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. And then when he was, going out to battle over the field, they had the reason of why there were all the explosions, because it was a fuel field, basically. All the fuel lines were running through it. But yeah, it was... And as he walked out, he did, his promise, which they kind of first created in Day of the Doctor, never cowardly, without witness, I love those lines, and I love it that he said it, there. And so then there was that awesome forest battle where he was like, "See you at Telos in Canary Wharf." And that was a really cool moment with all the explosions and the Cybermen going everywhere. Oh, gorgeous moment that was. And then he gets shot. See, I'm wondering, when did he start to die? Was it when the Cyberman electrocuted him on the roof right at the beginning? Because then he stumbled in the forest and started to regenerate.
Yeah.
I think that's where he first started to die. And then, they just started to kill him even quicker between then.
Sped up the process, yeah.
Because that was he was surrounded... okay, it wasn't a good Cyberman story, but it was a great story. That's kind of... I kind of liked it how the Doctor said, the Cybermen start everywhere. So it's not like the definitive genesis of the Daleks, but is a type of genesis of a Cybermen even.
So it started here, they started on Mondas, they started on...
Yeah, they kind of started all over. And Spare Parts, which I listened to most of it, I've got most of the way through it, but it's kind of it's like a separate thing, and they're already kind of about, at the start of the story, the Mondas Cybermen. So it's like, this could still lead somewhere, what's happening with the ship. I mean, Nardole still needs to get into the top floor, but even then, can they, get away from the Cybermen?
I'm still a bit surprised they didn't end it with the Cybermen actually landing, with the ship eventually landing on Mondas or something, or eventually escaping the black hole.
Maybe they'll address that in the Christmas special.
Though, I don't think they can, because of course the upgraded Cybermen are there, so how would that...
Or maybe the Christmas special will just be something completely different. But first of all, I just want to talk about his death. So, the TARDIS, and then all of the companions saying Doctor. It was like the Fifth Doctor's one.
Yeah, but it didn't. I didn't think it quite made as much sense because it had the entire new series era people saying Doctor. What and like, why now was that a thing?
True.
How come it wasn't just like the new series or the latest series, or why wasn't it all series? Why was it specifically the latest series?
Fan service, Conrad. Fan service.
But it doesn't make any sense.
He's the same person. He's the same person, so it does make sense.
Then why wasn't it the older Doctors?
Well, we had John Sims, so that was a connection. So yeah. I liked it, so shut up. I liked it. It was fan service, and it pleased me. And then he was kind of, all his scars were healed. And he sat up and he was like, I don't want to go, which was David Tennant. And he did the Matt Smith line. And he was starting to regenerate. And it was like, no. And yeah, he doesn't want to regenerate. It's like he wants to die. And that's really interesting. Going through the actually not wanting to go on.
So David Tennant's taken to extreme, kind of.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, but in, I think, a better way, as in, it's not, he doesn't want to become someone else, he just wants to, that's it. He's done his bit for the universe and he wants to stop. I find thing is, the Doctor still doesn't know that Bill's alive in her puddle form.
Yeah.
So, I think that's quite sad, really, because he thinks Bill died. So...
I think he'd kind of already accepted that, though.
Yeah, see, I always had this
kind Unlike Clara, where he's like...
Yeah.
Here it's more like,
much better.
He's had time to kind of accept this fact, and by the time they got to the point where they're like, we're going out together, he's kind of accepted it.
I found it was just so sad that, she was gone. There was nothing they could do. Nothing. It was hard hitting. Like, all the way through the episode when I saw Bill, I was like, you're not coming out of this,
One aspect which they brought up the fact that the programming was slowly getting to Bill's brain. And yet they never do anything with that.
Yeah, that is...
Why bring that up if you're not going to do anything with the whole programming getting into your brain?
That is true.
And then the Bill goes like, and kind of an emotional scene, if that happens, destroy me, basically.
See, I was thinking that the Cyberman... I was thinking that the Cyberman which had shot the Doctor was Bill.
Yes.
I thought he was going to turn around and it was going to be... I waited for you again, like that. But I guess, oh well. I still like it. And then the ending where he goes outside and it is the first Doctor.
Which we'd already.
I know, but it's still crazy that they're doing it. Like.
Yeah. And it's pretty much happening how I foretold.
It's so, and this is definitely
on the point.
This is definitely when he's been, set to sleep in that room and is like, I won't change. Or maybe when he goes, oh, it's far from being all over. But no, he's kind of accepted his fate then, so it's got to be.
Yeah, he's got to be in the point where he's gone missing. I think.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, I just watched the fan show, as I stated earlier, and Moffat said, "Oh, I've just been next door in the other room where they've recreated the first Doctor's TARDIS. So, that's something we've got to look forward to. We're going to see a full recreation of the first Doctor's TARDIS. So, that's very exciting.
We've already seen a full recreation of the first Doctor's TARDIS.
Well, no, in Hellbent it was a bit different.
In Adventure in Space and Time.
That was still kind of like, that was filmed in a docu kind of a docudrama.
Yeah, but it still was the full TARDIS.
It was cool, but it's gonna be like canon, actually in the universe. It's gonna be so cool, and I'm interested. I don't think it's gonna be a Cyberman story though. I think it's gonna be something completely different.
They might have a presence, but if they're going to be setting it there, I think they kind of have to be.
Well, I mean, it's a time machine. They can go and come back whenever they want. But I kind of like it how they're both like... They're both wanting to not change, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. This episode has a lot to it, and it's definitely my favourite season finale of the Capaldi era, for sure.
Not that it has that much competition.
No. But it might even be the 11th Doctor era as well, I think, as well.
Easily. No, I don't think any of them...
This has been... No. I think this has been the best season for quite a while now.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
I really like this episode.
Yeah, no, I agree generally.
This is...
I still need to consider whether or not this season as a whole is better than... Because, I think the last two seasons have been the strongest of Moffat's as a whole.
9 and 10,
seasons have been great. Like, they've kind of rounded off the whole thing nicely. I'd need to think about... Because, this season, I think there've been a few more moments where I've kind of been about it, but at the same time, there's been so many great moments. I don't know. I have to think about that. In fact, I still, I know you're significantly generally about this episode. I'm generally positive about it, but I'm still kind of a bit. I don't know. It has its great moments, but it's I need to think about... I'm still not entirely sure quite what I 100% think about this episode. That's what I'm trying to get at. I couldn't quite get it out.
At the moment, I'm solid. My thoughts might change as I mellow out, but I just... Yeah, everything they've done with it, I'm pretty happy with. I mean, the pacing was a bit off and everything, but the performances, the dialogue, the way they rounded off every character...
Absolutely.
It was, and the master stabbing the master in the back
this time.
was so poetic. So poetic, the way that they kill each other when they meet each other. I was shocked when John Sims shot Missy, though. I did not see that coming.
No.
That was like, whoa! Oh my god!
I actually had thought, at least at some point, that perhaps that Missy was why the master becomes Missy. I had actually thought
I was semi kind of expecting it.
Yeah.
And it was... Yeah, I was hoping to see the Master's TARDIS, I'm not going to lie.
But it's been a very long time.
But yeah, Missy's definitely not dead. Come on.
Well, no, Missy's... As Missy is dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, it could be enough a woman.
It could be. Or it could be a new master. Yeah, but, I I meant more the current Missy is dead.
Yeah, I just definitely don't think that John Sims master would have killed himself like that,
Well, I can kind of see it, though.
Well, maybe he would. I don't know. It's
kind of like, I'm thinking back to, Series 1 and Dalek. You see yourself become somebody who you don't want it to be, so you end it before they can become that thing, kind of. Yeah. Sort of like that,
I kind of
It's
wanted.
not worth living.
I
if you're
wanted
too...
to see the regeneration over though, but I guess not.
Some things don't necessarily need to be shown.
I liked
don't
his.
think.
I think he should have started regenerating on the way down in the lift. Like there should have he should have started shining, and he should have been laughing as he descended, like into hell kind of thing, you know.
Oh, he needs to get back to the TARDIS.
I know, but it would have been cool imagery. But I mean, there we go. At least that Master's got is connected up. Moffat's done that.
Yeah, at long last.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited for Christmas. A multi-Doctor story at Christmas. Now that's a Christmas present
Yeah.
for sure. And they've released this great little picture thing for it with the first Doctor kind of looking at the 12th Doctor like, my word, it looks great.
Oh yeah, they really hammered in the original, you might say, kind of line.
Yeah.
Like, he said it once, I think, but now they're building it up as his catchphrase. It's like...
Yeah. I'm not
Why
the
that
Doctor.
line? There are so many other William...
But I love it how the Doctor, you know, the TARDIS brought him back to see his first incarnation, you know, when he didn't want to change. So it's like they're going to get themselves through it, you know, together. I really like that.
As I've been as I've been saying since, what was it, like episode 3? Did I?
I think it's when they announced it, which was around 3 or 4, 5.
Well, it was leaked. It wasn't announced.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, facing death together, I think was.
Yeah, I kind of wish that hadn't been leaked though, because that would have been so crazy seeing that at the very end. But hey ho, I'm still so happy that they've done it. Yeah, he pulls off William Hartnell so well. Definitely. Well, he pulls off the first Doctor. He pulls off being a William Hartnell playing the Doctor so well. It's his acting as two characters, and it's crazy. It's like a multi actor story.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So.
But yeah, I'm so happy that they're doing it, and yeah, I cannot wait. But anyway, what did you guys think of the Doctor Falls? Are you excited for Christmas? What did you think of John Sim? Do you think Missy's still alive, or do you think they're going to kill her for a while? Do you think Chibnall's going to bring her back straight away? What do you think Chibnall's going to do?
Not straight away.
Well, I'm hoping that they're going to start filming the Chibnall series actually really soon, so then we have a spring season again.
But I meant more in terms of the Master. They don't. After this, they're not gonna immediately do a 360 on this. It'll be
on
at
the
least...
second season of Chibnall era.
Maybe
if they bring someone else back, bring back Varani, not the Sarah Jane one. The
monk first.
Yeah,
the monk.
We
haven't seen him since the first Doctor era. Bring back the monk, goddammit.
Oh yeah, the monk. Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, so. Tell us what you thought below. I loved it. Conrad is still deciding.
I'm more positive than negative.
Which is good.
Some aspects of the stories are so kind of so-so that I kind of like... I don't know 100%. I still don't know. It's certainly not as good as last week.
No.
By any means.
Well, in some ways...
I don't think... No.
Capaldi's performance and the way they handled the death, though.
The last episode was just so consistent, so creepy, and like it built up such an atmosphere, and it all built up so nicely that it was. I think last episode had the potential to be called a classic. This one, I don't know. I don't quite. It's just not quite as consistent. Like there are moments which will be remembered, but the whole package may not be. Isn't there, I don't think. Isn't quite there. For me, anyway. Okay, well, we'll see you guys next week, because we've got to wrap this up, because we're reaching half an hour. No, we won't see you guys next week. Oh, no, we won't. Okay, well, we're working on our next batch of reviews. We are, a bit slowly, I'm afraid, but I'll really try and make sure it's there for... I say a September release. September, yeah. We're going to try for September.
with the
If
odd...
not, it'll be slightly delayed.
Yeah.
There might be slightly, like, October's probably the worst, but I
Hopefully
think
September.
September's probably a
with
safe
with a
bet.
few sprinkles of videos here and there between then to get us over. But yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, maybe not exactly probably a weekly
No.
anything, but
probably every 3, 4, maybe at least one video a month.
yeah, no, I'd say a couple of videos. I think every couple of weeks we might post something.
Jeez, okay. I guess we'll try that then.
Couple of weeks is okay if we can like get a
Yeah,
a
true.
discussion on the topic. Or well, we'll talk about this later. Then.
Yes.
You don't need to talk about this.
You don't need to hear this anyway.
No,
We'll see
behind
you.
the scenes with Eyes of Harmony.
Yeah, we'll see you at some point. Bye, guys.
Boy.
Bye.